Hello there, welcome once again to my channel. It's been a while and it's been a roller coaster with all this COVID and the pandemic. It has not been easy to make a video, but I'm back today to make a video. And today we've already spoken about how to pass your IELTS, how to get started and kick off with your registering with the NMC UK to come to UK and work as a registered nurse. So today I'm going to continue and talk about passing your CBT exam. If you've not watched my previous channels, I would put the links below so that you can check and watch them so you can catch up with what we are doing here. So I'm happy to come back and I'm happy to give you tips on how to become a registered nurse in the United Kingdom, or England to be precise. So with CBT, so CBT is just the full meaning is computer based test. So the computer based test is in 3 sections. So we have the ones for general nurses, the ones for mental health nurses, and the ones for midwives. And I am a general nurse, so I wrote the general nursing one, and I think it cuts across. It's almost the same format and formula they use for all. So the CBT test is usually written in the Pearson View office, which is also it's an office in Accra. I don't know whether they have any other office in Ghana, but I'm talking about Ghana, but it's an office in Accra. So in Ghana, you get Pearson View in Accra. In other countries, I know there is also a Pearson View there, so you just have to check your country and where Pearson View is. But usually, CBT is written in a Pearson View office. So first and foremost, you would want to check with the Pearson View office first, because online you can find the cost online, but it's quite different when you call the office because they are going to do all the registration on your behalf, and so they do charge some administrative fees. For my experience in Ghana, you are usually given you pay either cash or by a bank, either their bank account. So you go to their office, they tell you how much they are going to charge, they'll tell you the date available and which date you want, and then they will register you accordingly. So it's best to go with your passport. That's like your traveling document, which is the main thing, so that they get your name correctly spelled, and then you can proceed from there. So now, in preparation for your CBT, it's almost like not much of a difficult hurdle, because it's more about nursing. It's what you have been doing as a nurse, for how many years you have been practicing as a nurse, and whatever you've also learned in school. And so with CBT, it's pretty simple and quite straightforward. It's a computerized test, and so there's no written exam. It's not something you go in and write with pen and paper. You just do it online. It's all everything is on the computer, and you don't even have to really type in like an essay. And so if you're not comfortable with typing, or you are not fast with typing, you don't need those things, because it's an MCQ, that's a multiple choice question. You don't have to type in, and so you don't have to be nervous about typing in something and you don't know how to type and you're not very good with typing. You don't have to even worry about that, because it's just the use of a mouse, and everyone knows how to use a mouse. You just have to use a computer mouse. You just click, that's all. So it's a multiple choice question. So you think, oh, it's easy, but that is one trick about multiple choice question. It's either it's wrong or correct. There's no in between, unlike essays where you can impress the marker or the examiner. For this, it's either A, B, or C, or D, and so you have to really know what you are choosing. And it's not anything, if you've really learned NCLEX, it's not anything like NCLEX. NCLEX is more very technical, like more of physiology, anatomy, pharmacology. With CBT, it's not anything like that. Even with the drug calculations, it's really like easy basic drug calculations. For instance, they give you a patient is supposed to take 1 gram of paracetamol, and the tablets comes in 500 milligram. How many tablets are you going to give the person? These are the sort of even drug calculation questions they give you, and so you don't even have to use a calculator. You don't have, it's just simple and straightforward and basic. So with the CBT, you are given 120 questions. 120 questions. It sounds like a lot, but you are given a whole lot of time. You are given 4 good hours to answer 120 questions. You have optional breaks. You can choose to go for break during the exam or not, but you find out that if you are really prepared and you go in, at most 2 hours you are done with the 120 questions. And so it's best to know what you are about, and if you feel you are done, and you just leave, other than staying and trying to correct your answers, which makes more mistakes. And so it's a very easy one, I would say, from my point of view and from other colleagues I've spoken to. The CBT was quite easy for everyone because it was something we were all doing. It's nursing and it's something we are used to. So the CBT is 120 questions, which is all MCQs. There's no writing or anything like that. You just have to choose multiple choice questions. You just have to choose. So you do that exam in a Pearson VUE office. They'll give you all the instructions when you go. You don't have to go with your phone. You can go with your phone, but you keep it in a locker or whatever properties you have on you. There's a locker you put in, then you go in to write your test. And it's best not to even cheat, and you don't even feel like cheating because you don't have anyone there. Even if there's someone there, you don't even know the particular exam they are writing, because they do a lot of other tests in the Pearson VUE office. And so it's better to be prepared on your own and just go in and just do what you have to do and come out successfully. And also it's a very quick one. You don't get your results immediately. You're supposed to get it immediately, but sometimes they have some issues at the office, and so they will tell you to go home and then you get the results in your mail. It doesn't take, at most 24 to 48 hours, you have your results. I wrote mine around 1 p.m. and I got my results around 8 p.m. And so it's a very straightforward exam. You know your fate immediately, so you don't have to wait for weeks to find out what you got. And when the CBT is marked, you don't get a mark like you got 100 over 20, 100 over 120, or 120 over 120. You're not giving exact score. You're just giving a pass or a fail. So you either pass or you fail. You're not giving even, I don't know whether when you fail, you are giving like areas you failed in. But all those I've spoken to so far, all my friends passed like a one-time something. It wasn't something they had to struggle with at all. And so you just pass and they tell you you've passed. You fail, they tell you you failed. And so you just have to prepare for it. With preparation towards CBT, it's pretty simple. When you register with NMC UK and they give you the go-ahead to write CBT, they will send you some blueprints. So sort of like a guideline to follow to help you to study towards the exam. So those blueprints are very, very, very important. You have to try. It looks very cumbersome when you see it. It looks like, oh my God, they can't be asking me all this. But if you try and go through it topic by topic, you realize that you get more ideas on what to expect during the exam. There are critical questions. They will tell you they are critical questions, but you wouldn't know which questions are critical. For those questions, if you even fail one, that is it, you are failed. So you can get probably 119 over 120, but that one mistake could be a critical question. That is why you failed. And so you also don't know which ones are the critical questions. And that's the tricky part. So you have to know that some questions you can't just fail, especially when it has to do with patient safety, when it has to result in patient death or any an adverse effect for the patient. I think that would be a fail. So with the drugs, I would say that is like a no-go area to fill. You have to really get your drags on point. You have to cross-check it over and over and know that you are giving the right amount of drag. You just don't assume. You might see paracetamol 1 milligram, and in your mind you are thinking, oh, it's 1 gram. You just have to be very careful and pay attention to the units, like the milligrams, the mils, the grams, the micrograms. You just have to know, pay attention to it, and just don't take it for granted, because if you fail in those areas, I think that you can pass, or but if you fail one in those drag calculation and critical questions, and that is a fail, and that will be very painful. So you just have to be very, very, very observant in what you are doing. And with the topics, I don't have much to say about the CBT because it's pretty simple. With the topics, you are usually given the nursing codes, so the values of NMC, the codes, the ethics, they all come in. And it's not like a code or ethics in your country. You know, nursing is very dynamic, and so they are equally, like, nursing is universal, but it's also very dynamic. So whatever you practice as values, ethics in your country might not be the same in the UK, and so you want to pay particular attention to things that concern UK and then learn it accordingly. Even if it doesn't make sense to you in your country, it makes sense here, and so you just have to learn that. When you get to Rome, you do what the Romans do. You just don't do your own thing, use your own mind and just go what you are doing in your country. You just go and write, then you are going to fail. You are coming into the UK, and so you want to familiarize yourself with what happens in the UK, and so you have to learn according to, like, have a transformed mind, open mind, and then learn and know that, oh, this is what happens in the UK, probably in your country is another way. So you just have to learn and go and pass that exam, because you want to pass and you want to work in the UK, and so you want to know what exactly happens in the UK. So that is it. With the topics, they have professional values. They talk about professional values. They talk about communication and interpersonal skills. And they have a topic about nursing practice and decision making. They also have leadership, management, and also team working, and any other things like drugs, the disease. We have some few disease conditions, but it's not like the detailed disease conditions like NCLEX. No, there's not anything like NCLEX. Yes, you can get like 2 multiple choice like answers that looks very familiar, but usually there is a clear distinction. You can really pick out the correct one from the others, unlike NCLEX where 2 really look like the same and it's so confusing, you don't know which one to choose. This one is really, really simple. You can really pick the correct one from the wrong ones. That is if you have studied. Then there are so many online like materials for CBT. I'm going to put some of the links that I use. I used the Royal Marsden. I also had this recruitment, MMA recruitment. They also have like a whole CBT guides that they also use. I'm going to put the link below this video, and then you'll be able to check it and then help yourself to study. And this time around, unlike IELTS where you have to really time yourself, this time around you can learn like on your own free will, because the time is really, really a lot. It looks like it will never happen, and most people actually get up before the time because it's too much. 4 hours is a lot of time, and when you really study hard, in 2 hours you'll be done with that exam. So this is all my tidbits about CBT. It's pretty simple. I didn't have much to say about it because it's really, really easy. It's just the nursing you are doing. If it's mental nursing you are doing, it's just mental nurse. If it's midwifery, it's just midwifery stuff. If it's general nursing you are doing, which is adult nursing, it's the same thing. It's not rocket science at all. It's not anything you have to even be scared of. You have to just relax, prepare yourself, go in, but make sure you register with Pearson View. You make sure you know the date you want to write. You have the date with you want to write. Let them be aware of it, and then you just take it from there. And then you're getting to the UK as a registered nurse is just one step away, and that is almost it. You don't have to do much, and with the CBT. Yeah, this is it. This is all I can talk about CBT. If you have any other questions, you can ask in the comments, and I'll try as much as possible to answer them within my own strength. But yeah, this is all I have for CBT, and see you soon. And thank you for subscribing, thank you for following this channel, and also know that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Thank you so much, and see you later. Bye.